Innerperfect, and I wanted to read to you a passage out of Tom Robbins' book, Skinny Legs and All. I've been being called recently to reread this book. I have not read it for over 20 years, probably. Was the first time I read it. I'm sure that I've read it a couple times in my lifetime. I love how Tom Robbins writes. And if you have never read his books, he has several different titles. Skinny Legs and All is one of my favorites, and just wanted to read a little bit for you, just to give you an idea of his writing style. This is not how the whole book reads, but there are these little pops of these visuals and very creative takes on explaining things, and I love it. So here we go. This is the room of the Wolf Mother wallpaper, the room where the Black Virgin fell down the chimney and burned a hole in the linoleum. Countless are the antelope hooves that have pounded this floor. No wonder the linoleum is worn. This is the room where the Black Virgin was kidnapped, later to be caged in the Grand Mosque at Mecca. After all these years, they are still interrogating her about the location of True North. Why won't the pole star stand still is what they want to know. That and one other thing. In this room, the salamander was squashed between the pages of the rhyming dictionary, thereby changing poetry forever. Here, Salome walked around with a big red fish held high up over her head. Old Father spanked her with a ballet slipper, sending her to bed without milk or honey. Dance was changed in this room, too. So this, then, is the chamber of the Hoochie Cooch, its bathtub full of orchids, its closet full of smoke, and on the Wolf Mother wallpaper, little beads of dew. For the next part of this week's energy update, I wanted to do a bit of an intuitive card reading for you. I hope you have had a beautiful full moon week. The full moon did peak today, Monday, at 2:26 Eastern Time. I'm not sure when you are going to be seeing this video. I'll be uploading it tonight or tomorrow. But this is a super moon. I don't know if you've seen the moon in the sky, but it looks huge. It is on its elliptical axis. It is on the closest part of the ellipses, and so that's why it appears to be much larger than usual. And of course, when the moon is actually closer to Earth than it typically is, we do feel the energies much more intensely, right? There's much more of that push and that illumination with a supermoon. So I know that sometimes people feel kind of out of whack, feel kind of chaotic, amplified. Maybe you can't sleep during a full moon just because the energies are more intense. But I myself have been really feeling this full moon. I've been really enjoying the energies. So anything that you can do to help you feel a little more grounded, to kind of even blow off some steam if you're feeling overloaded with energies, will be helpful. And of course, the full moon does typically have like a full 3 days of its energy, the day before, the day of, and the day after. So, it's not like after the moon reaches its exact fullness, that we don't feel the energies anymore. So we'll be swimming in them for a while. So I would like to pull a couple of cards. As you know, I typically don't do, very structured readings. I don't do any type of spread that would, follow a certain format or a formula. But because my intuitive gifts are more of that of channeling and receiving messages for people, I like to use the cards as a springboard for that information. But when I allow myself to kind of relax in that process and not stick to a more of a formulaic or structured way of being, I'm able to kind of move out of my more analytical, logical side and move into that more receptive side of my brain and of my myself. So I'm going to pull just a couple of cards. We're going to see what comes through for us today or this evening, whenever you're watching this. And the first card that I am pulling, there we go. We have the Page of Wands. Let's pull another to build on that. We have another page. We have the Page of Cups. And one more. And then we have the Ten of Wands. And I'm going to pull one more card. And we have the Ten of Swords. So I find this interesting that we have two pages, the Page of Wands and the Page of Cups. And then we have two tens. We have the Ten of Wands and the Ten of Swords. Now, let's do this first, talking about pages. Pages can bring us messages. They can be like a fresh new energy that kind of, blows in the door and kind of heralds news or ideas or energies into our life. We have wands and we have cups. Wands are going to be the energy of progress. Let's just kind of put it underneath that category for the moment. Think of a wand as it is depicted in this picture as a tool that is helping you navigate, okay? And then cups, of course, typically represent our emotions, our relationships, but it is the flowing in and out of energy, of emotions, of information. And as you see, this page is holding this beautiful cup out in an energy of, is it toasting or is it, open to receive, right? So I feel that with both page cards showing up right off the bat, Page of Wands and Page of Cups, that we are being told to look out for and to be ready to be like the signals or the signs from the universe that we are supported and that we are going to be receiving things that are fulfilling to us. Okay. And so these could be coming through, like these messages, these signs, these signals could be coming through in ways that you might not typically receive those hints. If you're someone who pays attention to signs and symbols and you're like, oh, every time I find a feather or I find a penny on the ground or whatever, it means something to me. Well, I feel like that this information is kind of like, it's a fresh and new delivery of these energies into your life. So maybe don't discard things. Maybe just be open to receive like hints or kind of a introduction into those energies that might come from a source or, a person that maybe doesn't usually talk to you or something. But just be a little aware, right? Just kind of keep your awareness open and see how you can be more receiving of these energies that are very swiftly coming to you. The next two cards, both tens, Ten of Wands, and then we have Ten of Swords. Now, the Ten of Swords, here, let me show you this here. The Ten of Swords, they're all in his back. This is kind of sometimes an unsettling card for people to see. Okay, but this is really the end of a struggle. This is the end of not just a challenge, but something that possibly left you feeling just done, defeated or finished, and there's no other sword to be put into the back. You're done. But after the finality of this situation is a new beginning, is a fresh start. And so I feel like this is telling us that sometimes we can be kind of jaded, or we can be hesitant to start again, or to believe the signs and symbols or our intuitive nudges, because we're like, yeah, but remember the last time, I ended up with a bunch of swords in my back. And I barely survived that, right? I don't want to experience that again. But that may have been a challenging lesson, a difficult lesson, hard work, whatever it was. But that's not the end of the lessons and the experiences. There are new, fresh things coming in. And so we do want to give ourselves a time of maybe in between chapters 1 and 2, right? But the chapters keep coming because we're alive and we came here to experience a lot of things. So this is the end of a struggle. It does not, to me, feel like this is something that is coming in the future, that this is something that you need to allow yourself to just let go of, grieve, process, accept, whatever it is, but then just be open for the next new energy that is coming in. Now the 10 of Wands, that can get really heavy, right? That pack that he has on his back is full. It's heavy. It's very burdensome. And so this is an accumulation of things, memories, responsibilities, options of what to do, how to do things that you are carrying with you, instead of the page here who has one wand to assist the page, in his journey. So I feel like the message with the 10 of Wands is that you don't have to carry everything all the time, okay? Now, this could be in the literal sense, but it's really more of like, it's like the mental weight and the energetic weight that I'm feeling for you. That sometimes we get so used to carrying things on our shoulders for ourselves, but also for other people, that we forget that maybe they are lessons, experiences, emotions, whatever, that have already served their purpose, and it's time to lay them down. Okay. This could also indicate too that you have now done all the work, and you have carried these burdens to their destination. And it's almost like the idea that I get is like a phantom limb. If someone has like an amputation, but they can still like feel their leg. This is almost like it's the phantom pack. You've laid it down, but you still are walking as if you're carrying these, all of these burdens, or that, you have to, be careful like how you step and how you maneuver, because you kind of had to adjust everything based on all of these wands that you're carrying. So it is time to lay down, the burdens, the worries, the responsibility, especially that is kind of part of this old version of you, and that is really, fine to be done with, because you're going to be, more, your pack is going to be lighter in this next chapter. So yeah, they're both 10s are indicating, there has been an ending and closure, and you just have to acknowledge it. And it could be something that like you're relieved about, right? You would feel relieved if you weren't having to carry this anymore. You would feel relieved if there were no more swords that were coming, right? You could just rest or be done with that part. So it's just allowing yourself the grace and the permission to just know that there's nothing else coming at you in that tone, in that energy, that you're moving into a different energy now. Let's see what else we get. All right, we have the Knight of Wands. And let's pull one more. And then we have the King of Pentacles. I love these cards so much. So the Knight of Wands is definitely about now having confidence moving forward. Okay. And sometimes we don't know what the path is. We don't know what all the details, of the journey that's coming up. We don't know all the details. Now, some people really, really want the details. They get really stressed if they don't know all the parts. But part of it is about the journey and not the destination. And part of it is letting yourself be carried by your horse. He's not walking, okay? He is being carried towards his life, towards his goal. And I love how on the wand here, you see there is growth. There are little leaves that are coming out of it. And so this is moving towards an expansive energy, an energy that is growing and things that will grow in your life, that will help you grow, right? And so even if you don't know all of the details about, what is going to unfold on the path in front of you, it's new and it's fresh and it's growth. And you can have confidence and courage in that, knowing that it's not the old energy. You've already closed out that cycle. You're moving on to a new pathway, a new journey, and there are good things to be had. And the King of Pentacles, okay? The King of Pentacles has everything that he needs. He has moved through all of the different stages of his life, of his experiences. He once was the page, he once was the knight, and now he is the king, and he is proud of his accomplishments. Okay, and that is where you are heading. That is where you are going. And it's a king. It doesn't have to be that just for a male, right? But this could be, a female or a male that's listening to this. But the king is the energy of rulership and of knowing that you are deserving of having all of your needs met. You've put in the work, but then now you enjoy it. And that's really the energy that I feel is way on the other side of the Ten of Wands, the Ten of Swords, and is beyond the night. Okay, these are the glory days. This is still unfolding though, and this is the really exciting part. But you're working towards a goal and a life that is fulfilling. Let us pull one more and see if we get anything else to kind of round this out. This feels like a very divine masculine guided reading tonight. And then we have the Hermit. Very divine masculine tonight, I will say. So the Hermit card, ruled by Virgo, but the Hermit is wise. The Hermit is not afraid to be on his path. Look, he's got a staff there, right? Very similar to, right there. And what I love about the Hermit card is see his lantern. He has, like, that lantern represents like his knowledge, his also like divine guidance. There's a star inside the lantern, and he is trusting that the lantern will illuminate his way along his path. And so I feel that this is kind of telling us and reminding us that this is your journey. This is your path in your life that you chose to come and experience. And so, yes, there will be other people in our lives. There will be experiences shared with family, friends, lovers, all of that. And those all have value. But first and foremost, your job of your experience is to be, growing yourself and your knowledge of yourself, your knowledge of like your perception of your reality, your life, and to trust that your higher self, And the divine, your link to that, is never going to steer you wrong. And this is being in a state of wisdom and a state of autonomy. And that is a very balanced place to be. All right, let me pull an animal oracle for us tonight. And we'll see what other either messages or supporting information comes through to either pull this all together or for additional insight or information. And we have the cat. I've not pulled this card in a live before. This is beautiful. Here comes our divine feminine energy. Here it comes. Look at that. 2 black cats. This goddess figure in between. We have a pyramid. And on the card, the print is very small underneath cat. I don't know if you can read it. It says intuition. Okay. And so I love this. And so, like I said, it seemed like we had a lot of divine masculine energy that was coming through in this reading, right? It was like, accomplishments in your life and your journey, which of course we can all, have that experience, right? But it's very like, action is like moving along on your path, right? And then we have this card that I feel just one card is balancing out all of the cards that we pulled before. And it's saying that your intuition, okay, with that cat energy is trusting and knowing that you have the ability to move your awareness outside of this physical reality, outside of the doing and the tasks and the accomplishments and the lessons. All of those things are very, very important in regards to the human experience, right? Not only do we have to move our body to stay healthy, and we have to eat food, and then we maybe have to do things to provide for ourselves, for shelter, sustenance, all of that. And that's a very important part of being human. But that we still are the divine experiencing a self here on the earth plane. The soul, the consciousness is kind of riding around in the human body. But at any time, we can shift our awareness into that more perceptive, intuitive, connected part of us. And that really is us. It's like tapping back into ourselves that is not really the human experience, right? And so most of the time, as a human, we do want to experience the human experience because it's kind of like a special environment for us to, as the universe, getting to be on this planet and experiencing things that are unique to Earth, to this reality. But when you maybe need to tap into that intuition, you feel like you are running around in circles, or you feel like your energy has gotten kind of muddied or muddled in the chaos that is also going on Earth. Tapping into your intuition kind of helps right the course, helps kind of get your navigational equipment, your mission, your purpose, those core essences, those feelings of why you came here, who you are. You can tap into that to kind of like refill your soul's batteries, and then you can kind of get back to work in your humanness. And I think there's something also very beautiful to remember, that it's not like we're just human or we're just energy. We're not just this kind of mundane physical human, and then when we die or before we came here, then we were just, this cosmic being, but we have to kind of like pay the earth tax, or learn our lessons, then we get to go back to the cosmos. Simultaneously, we are the cosmos. We are the divine. We are our higher self experiencing humanness. And it's just where your perspective is. It's where, you are focused and kind of where you are dialed in. as to where your consciousness is experiencing reality. Okay. What is reality? It's really everything. And there's a lot of things that are part of quote unquote reality that we don't necessarily pay attention to or perceive, or that we're able to even take in through our senses because we would be totally overwhelmed. We can't be eating magical fruiting fungi and seeing lots of other layers of reality all the time, right? We gotta drive our car and stuff. But we are those aspects of ourself, our higher self, our intuition, our ability to see into different planes of existence and realities is always there. And that is part of us. It's just not where our focus is. So at any time that you want to visit that you need to kind of, like I said, recharge your soul's batteries, you need to remind yourself of who you are. Give yourself access to that. It can be through meditation. It can be through spiritual practices. It can be through all kinds of magical, energetic, esoteric ways. But just know that that is part of you, that is in existence. And it's just that your perspective and your vantage point of what you're seeing and experiencing is largely focused on the human experience while you're here. So there's definitely a lot of strength in this card. I also see, of course, a triangle, but then the cats make another triangle. So even though I do definitely pick up divine feminine energy, there is the balance of, above and below, the upright triangle and the inverted triangle as well, that are kind of mirroring themselves, right? All right. So I hope that was helpful. I hope that helps maybe fill in some gaps, or maybe gives you a little bit of inspiration for what you're going to either do next, focus on next, or what, maybe you've been kind of just stuck on and just needed a little bit of that reminder of who you are. So thank you very much. Have a good night. Bye.